Yeah, it's the boy, Mr. Check My Resume. We about to get into the 0 day class. We're gonna be looking out for contracts that will expire tomorrow, March the 10th. Hence the term 0 day. So if you're not familiar with that or new to the pack or new to the concept, understand that these are setups and trades that we're looking for contracts that expire tomorrow. So there is a certain level of risk and volatility associated with those trades. And so we utilize this time really to dissect some of the processes and give people an opportunity to kind of ask and ask questions that present tickers that we can take a look at and kind of develop that process. And so that's what this class is about. So don't feel obligated to take any trade that we may come up with for this call today. And again, the 0 day contract is a contract that expires the same day that you buy it, essentially. It's the expiration day. So we're looking to take those trades, sometimes. And so there are opportunities that we can take advantage of. And we feel there's a system that we can, utilize to give us consistent results. We're looking at this. And so that's the idea. That's what we'll look for tonight, and we'll go through that process. We don't get through every step because I do take the time to go through a lot of different tickers. Um, but a lot of these other steps we talk about pretty much at all everything we do in the strat. So I think the big piece to this is the analyze tab and understanding how to analyze the opportunities. So you'll hear a lot of mention of that as well. So we're gonna get into it. We're not gonna waste much time. I did not look at any charts after hours, so I'll be interested to see what's out there. I think for the most part, things will be bullish. I mean, sorry, things will be bearish, but let's see what's out there. I like to run a 4-hour scan, see what is potentially inside, giving us an actionable signal in either direction. I don't really have a preference. I think there's situational things where I could take advantage of movement in either direction, depending on if there's certain things that I can identify. So we'll get into that today. Feel free if you got any questions or anything like that, hop in or whatever. And then always as usual, excuse me, as usual, drop your tickets in and we'll take a look through different setups for tonight as well. So with that, we're gonna get right into it. What I have on your screen right now is a list of tickers that have an inside 4-hour candle. Typically my preference when I look for these 0 days or just the day trade kind of setups like that, I like the 312 Chicago on the 4-hour setups. But I think overall I look for the inside setups in general. But I think when I talk about like which ones do I think I think I like the most, I think it would be the Chicago setup. I don't know if I have like a real technical rationale as to why. I just like, I don't know, it appears to me that there's greater force with the outside the outside bars versus those 212s. And that just may be my perception. I don't have any statistical data to back it up. So that. Let's take a look here. We're gonna take a look at GE. This was something I got alerted about a week ago. So that one did pretty good. It looks like it reached target. Actually pushed up to like the upper target, which was like right here, like 95 bucks. When we just hit like just below that. So like in my mind, I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, I mean, overall, it did what it was supposed to do, even though it was kind of unlikely with the gap and go like it did. I think right here at this broad information level, um, we could see a situation where these broad informations um, could serve as, could be some buyers in this area. So maybe what you'll see is some consolidation after the gap's up. I was talking about this not too long ago when you see these gap ups like this, even if it gives you like a bearish signal, actionable signal sometimes, like this inside candle here, you may get a little bit of movement down, maybe, but I don't think there's I don't see where it fills the gap. It'll just hold up here and then trade within a range up here, and consolidate for a while, maybe speed. So maybe it does go 212 down on the 4 hour, then come down and test this broader formation down here, where the 90 bucks, a little below 90. That could be a possibility as well. Or if it, maybe it doesn't have enough selling pressure and it stays around the $90, $91. So that's kind of my thought process on GE right now. Overall, though, still bullish, but it's reached target. So I think from this point, I'll just be planning an exit. If I was in it, I'd be like, all right, what do I want to exit at? Do I want to? I think it will try to go back and retest the levels from the highs. So it may squeeze from here, but you want to see if you can take it back to the upside, and try to catch the top of that range. Or are you saying, you know what, I'm good. I got a week and a half, 2 week trade. It smacked over whatever, I forget what it is. 100%, 150% or something like that. I can't remember. And you good with what you got. But as far as tomorrow though, I think it's too many broad informations right there. I do like setup where it could potentially push down to the bottom of this range here. That is a possibility. However, I just don't like to take those bearish setups after something's gapped up so strong. Like the buyers are there. So I don't want to like trade against the grain, even if that opportunity may be sitting there. Um, it's just too much uncertainty right there with the broad information as well. So it's still bullish until it's not. So I think right here is the level where you'll see it maybe try to retest those highs overall and then finally turn over. It's hit target for me. So that's why I don't know if it's going to turn over immediately, but it's going to turn over. So the GE, they could push this thing right back up tomorrow. Like the volatility is just high. So I would, setup looks bearish. It had a bullish day, major gap up. 5.27% down is significant. You can try to look for the upside, but if you see all these broad informations I'm looking at, I'm just not inclined to take anything on it. No new entries right here. Next up, we're gonna take a look at PSX. This is still 66. It's like we got the day green, but the day they shoot it below $100. So it need to drop $1. That's potentially there. Go back and try to retest this broad information like we've been doing. Continue to push through. That one right there, kind of like we're searching about that one. I'm not sure. Yeah, Intel 212. We got conflicts. It's not much of a 0 day moving. Check there, respect to that weekly BF right there. It's at the bottom. And then that boy Quincy got when he wanted. Yeah, you can keep your eye on it for tomorrow. I think from here it's gonna go up. It's not big on the 0 day movement, so we'll see how it behaves tomorrow. And some conflict, so it's just a lot like working. I want something more suitable for like yeah. We support it, okay. I want something more like I want less to have to figure out. That's the best way to put it. And this right here, we got conflict. We at the bottom of a range. Now, thinking about like a long position, yeah, no, that's a different stuff. Take that wrong. I think for the 0 day, I like something that's more directional. Um, I think we'll see more of the downside setups be the ones that will be more inclined to put alerts on. The upside ones didn't look too hot. GLD, like it tried to hurry up a little bit. We got Dollar General. Take a look at DG. I typically don't really like the way contracts. Somebody go check out those contracts, see if they're doing people at the party. Save my time. This is Chicago. It's like point of control. They're trying to buy it. That shooter though on the week kind of looks more provocative to me. Okay. Sava. Sava. Sava ranks. Now let's take a look at Chewy and then Rocket. Chewy also has a shooter on the week. 2 down day. Keep making low and lows. Might but maybe going that's that on the month eventually. Chicago 4. Chicago on the 4. That level and buying. So and then next one. What y'all think about that too? So we might give you the warm and fuzzy right there. Okay. All right, I'm back. So yeah, I was feeling that cheese setup. It is under the broad information. It's under that point of control. So I think all the factors that I look for is um, yeah, I don't know 0 day. I don't think it doesn't give me the warm and fuzzy. So I'm gonna let that be. That means like ghost man. All right. This, this, see, take a look at it. I can, I can, I don't think tomorrow's gonna be great either. See what we got from. Oh, okay. Rocket not with a not bad setup, but yeah. So that was good. So all the way to $8. All right, 322 back down at two, so nothing. Wow, is that all we got? Hey, let me and then we're gonna check out. Okay, so we're gonna see what's in the chat. And it might be loaded. All right. Yeah, they could be. Already there was that conflict. So let's take a look at the precious metal pumpers. Wheat and precious metal. Let's take a look at it. Right there. The memers. Memers trying to get a little action right here. Blackberry. Afternoon. 322 back to the upside on the 4 hour. Interesting. Let's check out precious metal pumpers. Yeah, not much of a favorite of them for 0 days. So I don't think I'm gonna end up playing it either way. It's a good start though. Thanks for a good move. 0 days haven't been moved. I've found much. It's gonna be a lot of continuation downside. He's trying to find some actionable signals for. Let's take a look at a marathon for the PayPal. Got LPC with a shooter. You have to check their contracts here to see like the party. You typically there's lower open interest on that one. But that has a nice clean shooter, nice setup there. There below 128.5. You can make something like that. Same thing here with PayPal. PayPal sitting up to go 322 back down on the week.
What's up, big dogs?
What's up? Continuation on the 4 hour. Q2 reversal on the day. Beautiful. I like that. Not many. Oh, there's not many actionable signals out there. The downside, I tell you what. Everything else, I mean, the majority of stuff is already going to right. Let's take a look at Asian N, AstraZeneca, and MO. AstraZeneca things about it. Y'all information. Three keys, that's the outside, broad information that we give you. You have to draw your micro BS on it. Man. Very part is so, I mean, got there, have the trigger, got there right to the bottom. Another one, you gotta check the people at the party. See if there's there you go. Yeah. We got NO Altria. That's over here. Throw it up hard in the afternoon, man. All right, 122 on the day. Right down. Good. This right here you'll be flipping continuity essentially because you got a situation where you're green on the month, you got double inside month right now. I can't really do too much. You got double inside month. Yeah, so I mean you still kind of like a war on price right now. You got 45.51 before so yeah, price made his way back to this brown information. You take out the quarter level. 312 back to the brown. So right now, we'll see what happens out there. But as far as tomorrow though, 122 back to the downside. That one actually might have more people at the party. It's staples. So after you identify the setup, you got to go add the broad informations to that setup to verify that setup still is started. Then that point, you can go evaluate the return on investment. And how you do that is by going to the analyze tab. Analyze tab. Identify what your return on investment will be at certain price point by a certain date. It will be black power though. But yeah, so You can calculate the return on investment on your trade by utilizing the Analyze tab. Piper Jordan has a great video on the YouTube channel that breaks that down. And you can go and identify what your potential gains will be or what your potential loss will be. So definitely utilize that as a resource. And there are some people who do not. We build another site and somebody drop in the chat or say it incorrectly. Say, and they don't want to do it with injustice. So please drop the name of that site in the chat. But then once you like evaluate the return on investment, you can make a determination that it's worth your time and energy to invest in trade. You be in control of the situation. Research the job information. You have a camera shooter counter on the day. Right to that access the signal. That's the only access the signal you really know. There's a question on your English smattering. We just go through a couple more pictures and then we're gonna start off with NCLH.
Your resume.
Yeah, yo, what's good, bro?
I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but it sounds like it's mumbling. The sound is mumbling.
They know better than to let me go ahead sounding crazy on the audio. I have to get on their case. Nah, yeah. Anybody else have an issue with the audio?
Sounds better
Yeah,
now.
yeah, no, you just when you said that, you sound better now.
Oh, so it was me. It was my voice. So, yeah, my fault then, my fault. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So, next one we're looking at here. So what I'm looking at now, I've gone to the daily time frame and I'm looking at tickers that are 2 up on the day, trying to find some actionable signals. We first looked at inside 4 hours. We didn't see too much there. We look at the daily time frame to identify some setups. Maybe that can give us actionable signals. Back down. I'm not seeing any bullish signals. I don't see any bullish signals really in the 4-hour time frame. We get indicators of the day for the and we can check as well to see those bullish signals. Before we get out of here, so I just want to take a look at 1 or 2 more, and then we're gonna get into the chat. So I'm gonna take a look at SO, Rover, SO Kroger's going to be. Yeah. These field levels on the other day when we were having a conversation about it. It looks like it came back down to the field level or close to it. Pretty interesting. You got a hammer shooter counter. On the day here was the low 54.22. Interested to see how it responds to that. That so looks like a potential. You gotta check to see what the contracts look like, see if there's any people at the party or non-standard meat. The DLO look crazy over the program. Program been so strong, man. Ooh. That's tough. I'm gonna leave that one alone. That one. That program look strong, even though they're doing better. Got a monthly draw information. If you want to see the draw information. But well, now if you head on to that John Deere, you go. Wow, right. 8-second board on it. But yeah, once you see that down, 420 is gonna do it. I'm getting to the cat phase. Let's see what we got going here. The SCL8. Good job. Good job. She dead, Paul. She dead. We got no extra procedure. She dead. Already dead. Boom. Pow. Chicago to the downside. 2 down on the day. 2 down on the floor. Only thing I'll be looking for tomorrow is if the gaps, how far is the gap down, and if the gap from the gap to the right. Which then if it calls up a little bottom. I mean, but yeah. Jesus. Sorry. All right, man, we got BX, Blackstone, same deal. They dead. Another thing we want to see how far these things drop. How far they gonna sell it off in the morning? They sell it off right into broadening formations, or they let it fall in more than that. Avery's gonna take a look at right. 2 down on the floor, 2 down on the day, outside week. Especially all the levels. And then this looks like continuation. I don't even know. The main thing is your footprint maybe in the quarter and the year coming up. It looks like it's been consolidating in the area of the weekly. So it's had a couple different outside weeks. Looks solid. It continues down. Main thing is for the gap on it. So so then next up, Walter looking at ASAN. Yeah, I put today with the inside afternoon. That was actually pretty solid for it to hold up the way it did. That tells me it has some relative strength within the stock. The buyers like it at this level, regardless of what the overall market is. They see value in the stock. So I would be very happy with that if you're already in it. As far as tomorrow for 0 day, check and see if there's people at the party, meaning if there's sufficient open interest for you to take a trade on it. But I think with the strength that it has, for it to hold up the way it did this afternoon is a good sign that the stock is pretty strong in entire C value in the company. NTV, y'all can look at the tickers today. NTV, um, you have not familiar with this ticker, but looks very bullish. Looks very bullish. You got the hammer on the week. Currently outside, trail 2 down on the month. Strong, very good. Jesus Christ. So yeah, 325% average volume. Yeah, these things were cooking today. These are stocks that have relative strength for whatever reason. But yeah, one I'm not familiar with, Paul, but it looks like it's gonna keep going tomorrow. Sometimes I wish it like that one is probably gonna go 2 up. I'm like, damn, I wish it would stay inside. Take a look at BVN. It looks like BVN is gonna try to go back to retail. Energy, 52.45. So if it gets to that point, it's 46, 56. Yeah, it'll probably make it go back up. But, yeah, it's trapped in the box after the drop, so it's gonna be a while for it to take time. Well, tomorrow, more continuation for the downside. Future, not like today's drop. I don't see it dropping up today. Probably people off guard today. In that GLD, I was looking at GLD earlier. But yeah, it held up too, showed some relative strength. You know, and I was more so paying attention to the afternoon. I didn't like the way that looked. Like, okay, it's trying to hold up. It's trying to not succumb to the selling pressure of the market. What'll be key is like how the bonds and the dollar bill react tomorrow to everything. To get to a point, and maybe that's something to look at. But yeah, GLD does have the inside 4 hour setup, so you could go 212 to the upside of those mid-70s, 50. So that is a level you can look at. Obviously, I don't have the PDF drawn on it, so you may have to just take a look at that. Yeah. No, we didn't. We didn't bring up CCJ. Sorry, I had to put in my order. Yo, Intel. Hey, so Intel, Asa, okay. Asa Intel, we had some discussion about it on the live call. And you know how we feel about it, in terms of it being like, a company mentioned, as a long-term player, what have you. So definitely on that right now. I think the way it reacted on the shorter term scope, The way it reacted to the broad information was very positive. I myself am a little skeptical of a 0-day movement.
Okay.
But to your point and your setup here, it does have it's in a volume gap. So it's at the like the beginning of the volume gap. And we got room back to like the point of control on the 4 hours. You see that on the screen is like 27.98. So in my mind, I'm kind of like, if we get the juice, then it would basically have to show relative strength, which it did in the afternoon, as you can see, and have some buying pressure to come in to really give us the lift that we need. We need that initial thrust.
Right.
So that's the only, that's just because of prior experience. But I like the stock. I'm bullish on the company, everything. So I'm gonna keep that one on watch too, though. That's about the only setup that held up. Well, not only, but one of the few that held up today. So I think it's in a good defensive position. Like it's like at a low enough part of the range to where people not gonna sell off on this, and it's not overpriced.
Yeah, it's still so close to its 52-week low, which was 24.59. It's at 26.44. I mean, that ain't. I was like, it's still attractive, but like I get it on 0-day, it does act a little funny. You know what I'm saying? So if it ain't got no steam behind it, it may not. It might just kind of be set up for a longer term play. It's gonna need some juice though, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm impressed with how I did. Reacting to the bottom for nothing. I would have been more of the thought that like, hey,
Mhm.
yeah, interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna have to take it. I have to see how it reacts in the morning pre-market. If they want to track with SPY and all that, then damn, But if it want to uncouple itself and do its own thing, then then we game. That'll be one that kind of pop off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, appreciate it.
No, yeah, no, so. Man, if you want to roll with your partner SPY now, then I can't really roll with your own thing. We're CCJ. So take it up here, CCJ. But you found a good one. We've been in the midst of a TTO. No, you didn't miss it. You got okay. So CCJ 2 down to 4. Now you got some you got some BS above his head. Let's see, 26, 29. Younger. Get that 15 red on the 4. You break above 33, and then you can get to about 26.70. You can see how much that 41-cent move would be just on the underlying. See what that payout would be. It might be something decent.
Yeah, I was looking at that one. Look like we got a failed 2 on the 4. And I see the day trigger, and I see potential to have a 2-day trigger too. Just I guess it depends on how much juice we can get tomorrow, depending on the market, of course.
And if you do get the movement, you're gonna need to move in between this gap over that.
Yeah, because I'm showing us a quarterly BF right above it. Like you said, like 40 cents away. So that's the only thing that had me hesitant on mentioning it.
That would be the target because that's still like almost 2% move. So like you can go plot that in on your analyze tab and see how much that payout would be. On those stocks with the low underline, you don't need that big of a move. With that 26 cents is 1%. it would have move on the underlying from there to go. That might translate to 100% on the contract. You know, like that's gonna be cheap anyway. It's kind of the same thought process with Intel. You go back to Intel, you gotta look at the same thing. What's conservative targets is that $26 price point. So, you know, when we did a 46-cent move today with 1.77% move on the underlying. On a 0-day contract, 1.7% move on the underlying, and that's chunky. If you're gonna do that in less time, like that 1.7% might happen within like first like 3 minutes. You know how it be when you get, when it's clicking and the market picking in direction, you get quick on the deal. So yeah, but that would be the idea for both of these essentially. Because CCJ gets like had stronger just the reaction in the second half of the day. But same core thought process. I don't need more PP. I need to draw more DS on Intel but PCJ got room. I would just try to target next to the next corner we want to get out. In and out like a sniper. Working that. And then Joseph, to answer your question about the red threes, I don't know if you've been on any of my other classes, but I got a famous saying that Dwayne pronounced famous, and that is, oh, okay. Okay, you know it, yeah, threes be bullies. So yeah, you'll see if you got some red threes on some of these stocks. That don't mean necessarily tomorrow's bullish. You have to see, and this is the discernment that each of us have to have, is that I 100% believe the thesis of the threes be bullish. So you can have a scenario when you have a 3, then a 2 down the next day. So the sellers that strong, you got to finish off selling, and then you have 2 up. So you have a 3, then a 2 down, and a 2 up. But then that would translate to a Monday move up. 2 up on Monday. The 2 down happening tomorrow. So go down some more. So think about it gapping down in the morning and then making its way up to create a 2 down hammer on the day. And then Monday creates a rail strap back to the upside, 2-2 So technically Friday and Monday would be kind of like straight. Right back into the bottom, right back down. And then, or you could have some stocks that's, they kind of slow down the selling and they get a point where buyers start to come in. You can go inside tomorrow. So it's such a strong selling day. Maybe there's not enough buying tomorrow to take it 2 up and it stays inside. And then you have an outside day with that inside day. And then you would look for a 3-1-2 on Monday to the upside. And then if they super bullish off of those lows, that thing just might go 3-2 the other way, 3 down and 2 up, and 2 up, and so strong. So that would be the the 3 scenarios that would be good. Or if it's just a dead duck, that thing is gonna go 3, then 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 down. So that's kind of the way I look at it. It's been my experience that majority of them threes, they come back. They come all the way back. So we just plan and anticipate it. So that's kind of like my thesis. It works. And we can get to test it out. Paul, what was the ticket we was looking at? And it was like we was gonna test it out if it closed out 3 today. I gotta remember the ticket we were talking about. But yeah, we look at that pretty regularly. Yeah, Joe. So that's probably what'll happen though. Like when I was looking at ES, we were already below the close. So if we gap down into a buy range, hit some liquidity, shoot up for the day, create a 2 down hammer, and then Monday go 2 up, 2 rail strat, and then whatever the next Friday formation is, we make our way up to that, and then we get rejected again. But this time, when we get rejected, we go down a little bit more lower. It's a real game of pinball. Yeah. That's the bunch what it is. Y'all ain't had no lot of tickets tonight. Y'all already know what time it is. So, other than that, I'm gonna just pull up a couple of hedge positions just to kind of keep y'all informed, so y'all are aware, which y'all need to be looking for. So you see right here, we've got what is it, BXX, outstanding day today. They're 2 down on the week, so we'll see what happens going into next week. Outside day to day, very strong. So we'll see what happens. If we're bearish tomorrow, continuing today's activity, expect for this one to keep going up. We hit some monster trades on this one in 2022, and we got really bearish last year. So it's one we keep in touch, as well as UVXY. Similar deal. This one's going to be a little bit cheaper. It's probably better on the price points and the percentage movement on the contract. With UVXY. So this is another one that people hedge as well. If you see that thing selling off like that, just look for that action for signal. But that's the thought process. And then also TLT, if you like bonds. This one isn't playing. This one isn't going in inverse right now. It just looks like it's just kind of holding steady. So I don't think there's much to glean from the bond at this point. And then you've got the dollar bill. I like to look at UUP. And yeah, it's up right now. As it gets closer to 20, once it gets above 25 bucks, it start like at 27, it seems like the level has been holding up at. But really, once it gets above 25, it can be like very, very for the market. We like the dollar bill to stay low, because the dollar bill low means the market's thriving and kind of thing. So typically, most people don't hear about the dollar because they're just thinking about bonds in the market. But when you're bearish, that's when this thing right here starts playing out. So it's up right now. As it gets closer to 29 bucks, we're going to get more and more bearish. We talked about buying some of those 29 calls in like September or something like that a while back. But so that's what I'm looking at for tomorrow. I don't think the UUP would be good to play for a 0 day, or the TLT. Those are more like long holds. You buy those and hold in anticipating market cycle beginning. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I've got to share for tomorrow. Not sure how the energy sector is looking for tomorrow. Yeah, it's still looking like bearish. So looking for some setup to take to the downside. A lot of them are giving shooters on the day. We had a hammer shooter combo. A lot of the tickers. So just be mindful of that. Take advantage of the opportunities you see. And I will get my watch list out here a little bit later on, and we'll get the recording up here as quickly as possible so we get finished downloaded. And with that, if there are no more questions, and I will let you all go and have a great evening. We actually got through this one in less than an hour, which is not typical, but I can understand because the market is pretty much chosen a direction today. There's no setups. Cut the light now, but there are no setups.
I got a quick question.
Yeah. Jump in.
All right, so if we don't find any like inside bars on the 4 hour on a day, do you ever drop down to like the 2 hour or the 1 hour and
Not
take a
for-
trigger off of that?
Not for a setup. I go into like for the next day, the enter. But like intraday, sure. But like after the market's already open, sure. But like intraday, I can do that. But not like when I'm not gonna put a setup together for something
Sure.
lower than the 4 hours kind of thing.
All right.
Not that it doesn't work, but there's so much pre-market activity. I don't know how like stable it is to follow, like, you know what I'm saying, on a trade to trade basis. So I've always like stayed up a little bit higher when it comes to that. Now, that doesn't mean there's stuff that I won't watch in anticipation for, like, oh, I know this thing is good to play. There may not be an actionable signal at the close the day before, but there will be an actionable signal in the morning. So that's what I mean. You just kind of wait on an intraday actionable signal versus thinking any particular time frame for another 4 hours. That's the only adjustment I make to that. Right, all right.
Thank you.
That is it. I'll let y'all get it. Y'all have a great evening.
Tonight, right?
Say that one more time.
It's again
Have a
tonight.
great night.
Oh, yeah. You as well. Y'all as well. Y'all have a great evening. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bright and early. We're gonna get to it.
All right, you are gonna post it tonight though.
Oh yeah. You mean the call? Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't catch all of it, but I hope y'all all have a good night on the call. Good looking.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I get it up. As soon as it finishes buffering, it takes about an hour. So yeah, I get it up.
All right, bet.
Yeah. All right, then, family. Y'all have a great evening. I'll catch y'all in the morning.
I appreciate you, Rich, man.
Peace.